All right, those last two examples were examples of theoretical probability with uniform sample spaces. And these next two examples involve experimental probability or empirical probability. So in example 3, we've got a study on stress experienced by Americans. And we had 800 adults ages 18 and older who were surveyed regarding their stress level. And they rated their stress level as either low, middle, or extreme. And the results are summarized in the table here. So the first question just asks us to determine the empirical probability distribution associated with this data. Okay, so we have data, and we're just going to calculate the relative frequency, right? So for the outcome of low, we had 272 respondents who said that their stress level was low. So we can just calculate the relative frequency. We can just calculate 272 out of a total of 800 people who were surveyed. Okay, if we calculate that ratio as a decimal, we get about 0.34. For the answer for the outcome of medium, right, there were 352 respondents. So 352 out of 800 respondents said they had a medium stress level, or middle. I guess it says middle up here, but it says medium down here. So if we calculate that as a decimal, we get 0.44. Extreme, 160 respondents out of 800. So that calculates to 0.20. And finally, apparently there were 16 people who didn't respond. So 16 out of 800 gives us 0.02. Okay, so if you add all that up, it should add up to 1, right? Because all the probabilities, if we have all the possible outcomes, right? Well, one of those outcomes is if we add up all of the probabilities, we should get 100% chance that one of those outcomes occurred. So the next question just asks, what's the probability that a participant in the survey answered that he or she experienced extreme stress? All right, so let's calculate the probability of extreme. Extreme. All right, well, it's already calculated for us, right? We can just read that right off the table. 0.2. So 20% of the people said they were experiencing extreme stress. Part C asks, what is the probability that a participant in the survey answered that he or she had not experienced a low level of stress? Okay, well, so we're looking for the probability of not low. So not low, which means anything but low, right? So basically we can take all of the outcomes and just add up the probability of those simple events, and everything, just adding up all the probabilities of everything but low. So what do we have? Everything but low, that would be 0.44 for medium, plus 0.20 for extreme, plus the no response, which is 0.02. So if we add that all up, we get 0.66. Now there's actually another way we could do this. Not low is the complement of low, right? So essentially, there's a 100% chance that something is going to happen, right? And then we can subtract the probability of experiencing low stress, right? So 1 minus 0.34 gives us 0.66. Either way, we get the same amount. We get the same probability. But we can also use complementary counting. Now, sometimes it's easier to use complementary counting. In this case, it doesn't really matter. We're just adding up a few numbers. But sometimes complementary counting can be helpful in probabilities as well as counting. All right, so I will meet you in the next video.